Hi, I'm Scott Coughlin with EM4Fish, and this is EM4 Minutes, very brief conversations with fish tech innovators who are working to evolve fisheries management. With me today is Dr. Gabrielle Lout with Ocean Outcomes, and Gabby and Megan Martin and Kimberly Rogovan have just written a new feature article that we have up on the website now. I'll provide a link to it in the notes. And I'm very excited about this in particular because this is something we haven't tried on EM4Fish before. Gabby's going to describe the project that she and Megan and Kimberly are working on, but it's also going to be a long-term section on EM4Fish. It's called EM4Humanity. So with that, let me hand it over to you, Gabby, and you can tell people a little bit more about what this is all about.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. Happy to be here. I want to share a little bit on our electronic monitoring and connectivity for crews at sea project, or EMC4C. This is a collaboration between Conservation International, the Nature Conservancy, my organization, Ocean Outcomes, Humanity Research Consultancy, but also a much larger group of different partners supporting, the aims of this project. And it really is focused on researching, implementing, and scaling electronic monitoring and Wi-Fi connectivity on board longline fishing vessels. This is an evolution of a several-year project, phase 1 that wrapped up last year, and so this is phase 2. And really it's focused on, exploring how do you improve connectivity for crews at sea through Wi-Fi access and create the systems that you need to have in place for that to be equitably accessed. And also, how do you use electronic monitoring technology to identify and report labor issues? And so this project will go until April 2027. And yeah, it's very exciting to share on this platform, knowing that EM is, historically a environmental sustainability tool. And so it's indicative, of the evolution of this space, really beginning to think about social dimensions and labor rights is really these core tenets of a lot of the work that we're doing.
So that's right. Gabby, as you know, and as most of our listeners probably are aware as well, there have been multiple tragedies that have happened on these high seas fishing vessels over many decades. And some of them have been very notable and well publicized in the most recent years, but a lot of them, of course, went unreported. And so you're talking about improving the safety and I'd say the mental well-being of these crew, but also you're providing the fish companies themselves with a way to be more transparent, more forward focused in terms of their accountability, the transparency that they operate in, which is going to accrue to their benefit as well.
Absolutely. And yeah, as you mentioned, and we know that, visibility onto those vessels and to working conditions is one of these huge gaps to improve working conditions and well-being of crew. And so on one hand, you have EM technology that does, add to this visibility of fishing practices. And so now thinking about how do you take the same technology and think about, observing something like working hours and estimate that, or safety protocols. And with that, really having Wi-Fi connectivity is fundamental, not only for improving well-being, but also, again, adding to that visibility and allowing crew to really report issues in real time, and also engage in an array of different sustainability initiatives as well.
Right. And as I think about this while you're talking, it's not just the crews that have suffered in many cases, but the observers, the human observers, that EM is to some extent in some places, displacing or replacing. But in many other places, EM will be complementary to human observers. And so I'd say it's definitely something that they would welcome as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really, improves that safety aspect and provides some of these safeguards, and kind of those two technologies in tandem together really do provide that more holistic approach than just having EM as standalone or Wi-Fi as standalone.
Right. Did you say the project is currently slated to wrap up in April of 27?
Yeah,
okay.
So we started this project in April 2025, and so it'll run for 2 years with different phases within that. But yeah, hoping to have 1 full year, about 1 full year of EM and Wi-Fi onboard vessels to really go through our analysis and process of piloting these tools and understanding, lessons learned and how to improve on that.
Right. And so just so our listeners understand, the new EM4 Humanity section on EM4Fish is going to track in kind of a timeline fashion various developments across the whole life of this project that these three are engaged in, these three NGOs, as represented by Gabby and Megan and Kim. Oh, by the way, that's Ocean Outcomes, Conservation International, and the Nature Conservancy. Those three organizations together on this. And so our readers will have a specific broken out place on the website where it'll be highly visible. They'll be able to see that and click on the timeline and then just see how this thing unfolds. And I think we'll be planning to put up, Gabby, correct me if I'm wrong, but things like crew videos and like a lot of imagery and all kinds of sort of a storytelling of how this project goes on.
Exactly. I think that's always been something that is really missing in the space, especially around, nascent interventions or technologies, is just the practical how-to. What are the lessons learned? What went well? What didn't? I think all of our organizations are really at the forefront of implementing, especially Ocean Outcomes. We're on the ground in Taiwan where this pilot is taking place. But for all of our organizations, really providing more insights into, some of the trials and tribulations and, the progress and where things need to go, I think is really what we're excited about sharing. I think those stories and testimonials from crew and captains and vessel owners and those really impacted by these projects and also hopefully benefiting from these interventions in their day-to-day, those stories and that being shared, I think, is really key to, moving the needle and can have impacts for policy and other NGO-based work and philanthropy. So I think it's really valuable to kind of have those day-to-day stories. And we need more of that.
Absolutely. I think this is path-breaking work that you're doing. And you're going to provide, all kinds of lessons learned as you go through this. And you're going to be demonstrating, and the captains that you work with, the seafood companies that you work with, you're all going to be demonstrating how this can work, how it can work to everybody's advantage. And so I'm super excited about it. And that's why this EM4 minutes has run nearly 8 minutes, because I think it's so important. So, yeah. So thanks so much, Gabby. I appreciate you joining me today. And folks will find the link in the bottom here in the description, and we'll just keep this going. Thanks so much. Great to see you.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right.